Now, how did the Atlantic situation come about? Explain that.
Okay, so first I was a songwriter, and the whole way that turned out is right before I graduated, I was trying to get an internship in Nashville, and I could not get an internship for the life of me. So I was like, okay, I found out about this expo they have every year in LA. It's a music business expo where different people come and talk. Like, they had Bruno Mars that year and everything. So I went out there, I got a press pass. I started blogs, I could cover it and everything, so I got it in for free. I got a press pass, covered it. I met my managers, Sean and Gary, and then I flew back. And then I graduated like 2 months later, and I didn't really hear anything for like a couple months. So I was like, I'll just take this job at Embassy Suites or whatever. And then one day Gary calls me, and he was like, okay, so we're gonna see what you do. We're gonna sing you some tracks, and we're gonna write some songs, right? So we do that. There's like this whole trial period, and then I went to like my first studio outside of school in Nashville, and I recorded some songs in the back. He was like, they're dope. And then we kind of we had like a management situation. So they've been managing me, and we were just writing songs, and I got a publishing deal. And that's like, I basically got paid to be a songwriter. So I got an advance and everything. And I flew to LA right after, like, I guess like a month after I got the deal. At this point, I was back in Atlanta staying with my uncle. So I moved to LA, and I just started writing. And for a whole year, I didn't get any placements. My first placement was the Meek Mill song. It's called Suicidal. I don't know. It's called I Don't Know. The clean version is called I Don't Know. Featuring Palumbo before, and that was my first placement. And then after that, there was a Wiz Khalifa on Black Hollywood, I think. And then my biggest song is Not For Long with b.o.b and Trey Songz. But yeah, so all of the artists were in Atlantic, and so my managers also work in Atlantic. And we went to, I started, I wanted to be an artist, but I wasn't really getting the chance. Like, nobody was like, okay, well, that's not why we're working with you. We're working with you because we want you to be a songwriter. So it kind of just made me mad, and I just started like channeling all my energy and my anger into writing, and it kind of gave me a sound. And the first song I wrote was called Make Believe, which they wanted me to give away to another artist. So that happened, and then we went to Atlantic to try to get a deal. The first time we went to Atlantic, they told me no. It wasn't until Joey from Interscope, Joey IE, wanted to offer me a deal that Atlantic actually was like, oh, okay, we'll sign you. And the only reason that we took the Atlantic deal is just because we were more acclimated to the system, so we know people over there. So it wouldn't be like we go over there, we don't know anybody. And then, 6 months later, I think we put out Walking Around Pools, and then a year later we put out Rare. And that's how I got here, kind of. There's a whole bunch of like trials and struggles in the meantime, but That's the short end of the story. The short end of the story.